Hello and welcome to this episode of the Excalibur podcast, hosted by me, Kyle Brooks. I heard a saying the other day that says, aging is the progressive seeking of comfort. And I'll let that sit with me for a while. I thought about it and really marinated on that statement. You see, when you're a kid, nothing really phases you. You're outside when it's cold, when it's hot, when it's raining, when it's snowing, whenever there is anything happening, you want to be outside. You want to really enjoy and relish life. But if you look at the amount of people in this country, particularly, that go outside during the day, I was astounded. I don't even see kids playing around in the neighborhoods anymore. And it really got me thinking that because of this, there is this epidemic of young people really having old people problems. On top of that, the old people are multiplied with ailments. You see, if you're not consistently pushing yourself and trying to get outside, trying to expose your body to the elements, getting fresh air, getting sun in your face, but more than that, taking yourself outside of your comfort zone, exercising regularly, pushing to failure, as well as exposing yourself to cold baths, extreme heats like saunas. What that teaches your body is that you're in a state of comfort, and you start to adapt to that. You start to adapt to sitting behind the TV on a regular basis or behind a desk. And we have seen that by doing that, your body starts to adapt and starts to change in its composition. Your hip flexors will start to shorten, as well as other ailments and other issues that will cause even more problems down the line. So I ask you, is the cost of comfort truly worth the repercussions that you're going to feel on the other side of that? And if the answer is yes, then enjoy sitting on the couch. I'm not here to judge you. But if the answer is no, then I implore you to start making small, manageable steps to doing things that really make you uncomfortable, that push you beyond the person that you are now. Because that is truly where the growth is. I liken human beings to a seed. See, you plant that seed in soil, and you can water it, and you can really cultivate the land around it to ensure that it does everything to grow into the tree that it could be. But in that warm soil is a place that is the same as comfort right now. You need to break out of your shell and truly spur beyond where it is that you are to breach that soil to get into the sunlight. And that is where the growth will happen. But most get so accustomed to what they are used to that they won't even look beyond where they are right now. So the biggest feedback that I can give, and the biggest choice in the matter for you to continually grow and to really tap into that youthful spirit, but not just the youthful spirit, but actually adapting your biology towards something that can grow you and keep you young. You start by doing the uncomfortable things. 3 minutes of ice baths every single week, 3 times a week. That is sufficient to be able to create an inclination of your body starting to adapt to this demand on yourself. Sprinting. Did you know that sprinting is the only exercise that boosts your growth hormone level by 900%. That is more than adding any artificial growth hormone to your body just by doing sprinting on a regular basis. Me, since the beginning of this year, I have been doing a sprint as a warm up every single day. And I can tell you that the benefits have been absolutely phenomenal. Yes, I'm a lot more sore than I would have been if I had not been doing this, but the speed is starting to increase. My ability to do other lifts has increased, as well as my balance and truly performance in every other aspect of life has grown to betterment. So, by doing the things that make you uncomfortable, that is a clear shortcut to the fountain of youth. But Kyle, how do we go about this? How do we start? Where do we start? Me, I always start with very small, manageable steps. But more importantly than that, you see, most people, what they do is they'll create a habit or try to lose a habit. For example, they try to lose a habit like drinking or smoking or something along those lines without having a plan to put something else in its place. And as the Bible says, idle hands is the devil's playground. You see, when you don't have a plan to get out of there and to do something else in its place, you're inadvertently creating a feedback loop to get you right back where you started. But if you create a plan around that and you start to implement things like saying, I don't want to drink anymore, I can put an extra workout in its place, reading in its place. Or if you really want to have something that makes you feel relaxed and just as good, there's breath work, there's meditation, there's yoga. And if you don't want any of those things, then you can find a drink that is utilizing mushrooms or adaptogens. So it's all of the good, relaxed feelings without the poison of and the effects of poison in your body. You see, there are always alternatives. One of my clients was struggling with the fact that he has a bit of a sweet tooth and he really likes sweet things. And for him to go from not to eating lots of carbs to not eating any carbs was a relatively difficult situation because he hadn't had to do that in the past, and also on top of that, he didn't have anything to put in his place. So what we created a plan that when he did have that feeling or that craving, he could have a non-carb wrap, which is high in fiber, and the fiber in itself actually sets off the carbohydrates of the wrap. But say, for example, he wanted something sweet. How do we combat that? How do we change things around? Protein shakes. You can take an amazing protein shake, put some chocolate morsels into it, top it with whipped cream, and it literally feels like you're having a milkshake. This gives you the ability to circumnavigate the craving while still sticking to the things that you said you were going to stick to. But a lot of the time, it's not just the physical side that people seek comfort in. You see, it's also the mentality and the way that they seek comfort in there is that they'll continue being around and doing the things that they've always done. They want to be around the same people for the longest time, even if those people no longer serve them. They no longer attribute any other value to their life, save for the fact that they are and have been in their life for such a long period of time. And I've seen this with many of the people that I used to consider my friends. You see, when you're on a growth journey, when your mindset is fixated towards growth and being a better version of yourself, you know what's going to happen? The people that you used to love and used to spend a lot of time with are no longer going to be relevant to you. And that's okay. It's okay to let people go that no longer serve you. Why? Because at the end of the day, you're giving them a lesson by telling them that you're more important and your mindset is more important and your growth is more important than where they want to stay. And that is okay. It's okay to leave those people behind because one, it will either give them a kick up the butt to say, I have something wrong with me, I need to change, or two, just reinforce the behavior and they get stuck in there anyway. But having that difficult conversation, that is also a part of stepping outside of that comfort zone to really delve into the root cause of what has been holding you back. For me, for the longest time, I have had many acquaintances, many people that I consider my friends. But what ends up happening is that within a very short period of time, 1 to 2 years, I tend to outgrow them. And it's not them as people, but rather their behaviors that I outgrow. I can't be stuck every single weekend looking to go out drinking just to forget the fact that I'm working on Monday. They frame it as a celebration, but if you're truly celebrating things, you wouldn't be drinking till you're blackout drunk. See, even if that's a cultural thing, there's a reason that those people are running away from something. And with that mindset and with that behavior comes a deadening of who you are. See, when you drink alcohol, it lowers your consciousness until you become unconscious. That's what happens when most people become blackout drunk. Our job as humans is to raise our consciousness and raise our awareness. By doing that, things that we deem as worthy to us. What is a successful person? Success is defined as the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So if you deem getting your degree, getting a new job, getting a house, running 5Ks in 24 minutes as a worthy ideal, and you're making progress towards that goal every single day, then you are by definition a success. But once you have achieved that, then you need to choose a new goal, choose a new worthy ideal. Because once you're in that place of in between, then you're no longer successful. See, we as humans need progress. Progress equals happiness. And if you're just staying in the same stuck position all the time, are you serving yourself? Are you serving the people around you? Are you serving the most important people to you by showing up as the same person that you were yesterday, or even worse? You see, a lot of people will defend their behavior. They will defend who they are. I have no link to who I was yesterday. I choose to be who I am today, but then to seek to be me in the 10 years time, because that person has all the knowledge, all of the resources and tools that I need to be able to get there. So what does the vision look like, and how can I get there? The only difference between where you are right now and where you want to go is a knowledge gap. And once you understand what that knowledge gap is, you can streamline it. So for me, in 10 years' time, I'll ask myself, how am I able to do that in 6 months? Am I going to get there? Probably not. But I will be a hell of a lot further ahead than if I just continued to think that it was going to be a 10-year goal. And that's something I stole from an amazing South African who is now the head of Doge in the United States, Elon Musk. He has literally revolutionized so much in such a quick period of time. And that's because he's a visionary. He looks at things differently. But more importantly, he doesn't seek out comfort. Did you know that the richest man in the world literally sleeps inside of his office so many times. Why? So he can be close to work. Or he has a Tesla house, which is tiny. It's 2 bedroom, right next to where he works, in order to get things done. See, everybody with these massive houses, fancy cars, and all the rest of it, great stuff. But are you resting on your laurels? Have you got comfortable with where you are at? Are you exceptionally happy all the time, content? Then why would there be any other inclination for you to push beyond where you are right now? See, happiness and contentment is a true drug. The Bible says to be joyful in all circumstances, to be joyful when the sun is shining or when it's raining, to be joyful when you're sad, or to be joyful when good things happen. It says it that way because the choice to choose how you feel in any given circumstances is always going to be yours. But coming back to the comfort, you see, by pushing beyond and seeking out discomfort, we tell our bodies, our minds, and our souls that we want growth, that we want to maintain a youthful vigor by being curious about the things that are happening around us and the things that we want to implement. This is how you will stay not only younger, but more consistent than the people around you. I hope that you guys enjoyed the session today. You know where to find us. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, as well as Spotify, which you're probably listening to right now. Have a fantastic day, guys.